Hey yogis, so today's practice is going to be about building fire, strength and power and awareness all the way around the legs. So we're going to be looking at creating some fast movements, some strong deep holds in some of our shapes, and we have a short amount of time together to do that. So I want you to really tune in, give the most that you can to the practice and see how your body feels from side to side. Notice where the imbalances are, notice where the strength is being held by the body and where the other parts of the body can try to pick up some of that awareness to share the load more effectively. A really nice warm-up would be doing a few rounds of sun salutations or picking one of my warm-up videos that just masters a little bit of movement in the upper body and spine as well to prepare you for this class, because we're going to get started right at the beginning of the mat. And then if you feel like it after class and you want to slow down and unwind the legs a little longer than we have time for today, you could take any of my hip release classes or pick one of the yin classes, and that will bring you into a nice kind of unwinding, melting down, calmer state of mind. Okay, so let's get started at the top of the mat. Standing tall with the weight spread evenly between the front and back of the feet. Bringing the hands gently together at heart center. Belly draws in and up. As we inhale, reach the fingers high, heart lifts. As we exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, rising up into our first chair pose. Belly draws in, tailbone lightly draws down. Imagine a block in between the thighs here. Sink a little bit deeper. Take another big breath, and we're just going to take the weight into the left foot, right leg rising. So you feel the power of the top of the right leg working here. The back of the right leg as well, here as well. Lots of effort and energy happening in the left side. And let's swap it over. So right leg down, left leg lifts. Notice any slight wobbles as the muscles start to adjust, reinforce stability through the joints. And then foot down, folding into forward fold. As you inhale, halfway lift once again. Come up a little higher than you would normally so you feel the power in the back of the legs and the spine. Hands down, step it back to plank. Push away through the heels, nice and strong through the legs. Hands push the earth away here. Take a nice big breath. And let's take the left hand into the center of the mat, outside edge of left foot, right foot stacks on top, coming into side plank. Option to flex the foot, seeing if you can lift the leg away from the other, working into glutes here. And then lower the foot to the ground, readjust the hands to plank. Let's go straight to the second side. Right hand down, outer edge of right foot, left foot on top, left hand to the sky, flexing of left foot, lifting of the leg away from center. Nice, and then lower yourself down, readjust back to plank. Chaturanga, baby cobra or cobra for the first round. Strength through the back body, use the legs to push into the earth. Tug the toes, lift up through plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rising. Exhale, knee to nose here, shoulders above the wrist. Inhale, three-legged downward dog. Turn the toes out to the side of the room and let's carry the right leg out to the right side. Keep it lifted as high as you can, so still working into glutes here. And then keep the leg straight, carry the leg back up to the sky. Knee to nose once again. This time step the foot between the hands. Stay on the ball of the right foot as you inhale all the way up to the sky here. Take a moment to sink into the hips. Reach away through the left heel for your stability. Hands can come onto the hips so you can keep the hands lifted. As you exhale, bend the knee, come and hover above the floor. Straightening out both legs. Exhale, hover. Inhale, straightening. Two more times. Exhale, hover. Inhale, straightening. One more. Exhale, hover. And then straighten out back leg, hands to heart center. Weight travels into the front foot, hinging forward from the hips, rolling that left thigh in slightly, toes pointing down, leg parallel to the ground, strong upper body. Hands can be at heart center or hands can reach forward here. Take a nice big breath. And then soften the knee, left hand to the earth, left foot to the back of the room, hand reaching back. Travel onto the outside edge of left foot, right foot stacks on top. Take a nice big breath. Option to lift elbow and knee to tap and then take it back. One more time, elbow and knee tap. And then take it back, lower down through to plank. Chaturanga, your choice of uplift here. Tuck the toes under, lifting through plank to downward dog, left leg rising. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders above the wrist. Inhale, rising tall. Take the foot to face it out to the side of the room and reach that left leg as far over as you can. Keep the height in the leg. And then keep the legs Straight as you square the hips back to the ground, knee to nose once again. Place the foot between the hands, rising tall into crescent. Sink into the hips as you reach away through that right heel. Finding your balance. Planting down through left big toe, belly in and up. Hands rising or on heart center. Exhale, knee hovers. Inhale, straightening both legs. Exhale, knee hovers. Inhale, straightening. Exhale, hover. Straightening right leg out, hands to heart center. Weight transitions to left foot as we pick the leg up. Roll the thigh in a little, hinging forward from the hips. Torso back leg parallel to the ground. Option with gaze down to reach fingers forwards. Hands can stay at heart center. Take another breath. Soften left knee, land the foot at the back of the mat, right hand down, left hand to the sky. Travel onto the outer edge of right foot. Scrap. Travel onto the outer edge of right foot, picking up left foot and bringing the foot to stack on top. Option here, 2 rounds, elbow, knee tap. And then back to side plank. Last one, elbow, knee tap. And then back to side plank. Lowering back, feet and hands adjusting to plank. Choice of uplift after chaturanga. Empowerment of the back body, spaciousness through the front body. Tuck those toes under, lift up through plank. Downward facing dog. Take a nice big breath here. Start to bring the weight into the left foot, right ankle crossing over left. Walking the hands towards the feet, keeping that softness in the left knee. Foot flexed here. Belly to spine, pushing into the left foot, hands come together at heart center. Option to take the arms out wide so you're working with a little strength and upper back here as well. Sink a little deeper into your single chair. One more breath. Nice. And then lower the hands to the ground, straightening out the leg for a little stretch through the back of those legs. Little release through outer hip. And then walk the hands forward, releasing right foot to the ground, and just walk the dog a little. Let's change the legs over now. Left foot crossing right knee. Walk those hands back towards the feet. Flexing of the foot, bending of the knee. Reaching up with the hands at heart center, or arms reaching wide. Sink a little deeper into the little lunge. Feeling the power all the way around the joints, the strength in the back of the body, the belly drawn in. Take another breath. And then hands to the floor as we straighten out the leg, a moment to fold. Soften the knee as you walk the hands forward, releasing left foot back down to the ground. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rising. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged downward dog. Toes turn out, leg lifts over to the side. Feel the power of the hands pushing the earth away. Keep the legs straight as you square the hips. Lift the leg nice and high. And then knee to nose. Place the foot between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Rising tall to crescent. Bringing the hands to heart center, knee to chest. Hands to the sky, stepping it back to crescent. One more time, knee to chest. Inhale, back to crescent. Slight variation, knee to chest. Taking left hand down to the big toe, right arm out to the side of the room. Left hand extending forward and then out to the side. Keep gripping into outer hip here, feeling that sense of power. Take another big breath here. Slowly start to carry the leg out in front of you. Arms up. See if you can keep that left leg lifted. And then foot skims the earth, hinging forward from the hips. Warrior 3. Bending right knee, slowly, slowly, slowly. Hands and feet come to the ground. Take the leg back to 3-legged downward dog. Bend the knee, flipping it over into wild thing. Back body strong, front body open. Hand to the ground as you travel back to plank. Chaturanga. Choice of uplift. Baby cobra, cobra, upward dog. Tucking those toes under, lifting through plank. Finding your down dog. Taking 3 big breaths here. One more breath. Inhale, left leg rising. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged downward dog. Toes point out to the side of the room. Carry the leg as far as you can. Lift it as high as you can. Keep the legs straight, carry the leg back to three-legged downward dog, knee to nose. Place the foot between the hands as you stay on the ball of the right foot, standing tall to crescent. Sink into the hips. Bring the hands to heart center as you draw right knee to chest. Hands to the sky, stepping back to crescent. One more time, everything to center. Hands high, landing it back into crescent. A little bit different this time, hands to heart center, now taking hold of the big toe with the first two fingers. Straightening out the right leg ahead of us. Taking left arm out as a counterbalance if you need it, as you carry right leg out to the side, strong through the standing leg, pushing the ground away with the toes. Take a nice big breath. And then carry the leg back through to center, let go of the leg. Foot skims the floor, hinging forward from the hips, warrior three. Soften the knee as much as you can. Foot finds the ground, hands to the earth. Carry left leg back, three-legged downward dog. Bend the knee, flipping it over into wild thing. Back body strong, front body open. Nice big breath. Hand to the ground, travel to down dog if you prefer, plank if you wish, chaturanga. Choice of uplift once again, chest forward, shoulders back. Tuck those toes under, lift up through plank, downward facing dog. Nice big breath. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Feel the release through the legs. Heart rate starts to slow down. Take the gaze to the top of the mat, soften the knees, jump the feet there. Inhale, rising to chair. Start to lower yourself down nice and slowly to the ground, bottom to the earth. Shins come to be parallel to the ground as we bring ourselves into Navasana. Lower left toes to tap the ground, straighten out right leg. Bring the shins to be parallel. Right toes tap the ground as we straighten out left leg. And then back to parallel. Left foot to the earth, straighten out right leg. Lower yourself down with control, hands to the ground. Push into left foot, lifting right leg high. Keep the hips in line with each other here if you can. Take another big breath, reaching up through the heel. Lower the bottom down, hands towards the feet, lifting up with intention back to where we started. Right foot down, left leg straightens, rolling down to the ground, palms facing down. Push into the foot, lifting up into single leg bridge. Try to keep those hips in line. Reaching up through the left heel, take your time. And then lower the bottom, fingers towards the feet, lifting back up with control to boat pose. And then lower the feet to the ground, edges of the feet to the ground, knees drawing out here. Big inhale as you interlace the fingers around the toes. Big exhale, working your way into bound angle. Notice the release through the inner thigh. Feeling of space through the back of the legs, lower back. 2 more breaths here. Releasing the feet as we roll ourselves up to upright, hands under the knees, knees together. And just lower yourself onto your back, crossing left foot over right shin. Interlace the fingers around the front of right shin or back of the hamstring, toes point back towards us. Take another breath on this side. And then change the cross of the legs over. Fingers interlaced around front of the shin or back of the hamstring, toes pointing back towards the knees. Notice how it feels between the two sides. Slow the breath down. Heart rate starts to soften. 1 more breath. And then release the legs one by one down to the mat as you make your way into your final resting pose here, Shavasana. Start to bring the smallest movements back into the fingers and the toes here. Reaching the arms all the way up overhead. Nice long full body stretch. Knees drawing in towards center. Giving them a little hug before you roll yourself onto whichever side of your body feels best. And keeping your eyes closed, just using your hands to gently push the ground away, lifting you up to a comfortable seat. And just take a moment to pause and notice how you're feeling. The power and strength in the legs and the hips, the core. Seeing if you can carry this confidence, this fire with you into the rest of your day. Let's bring our hands together at heart center. And bowing our head to our hands in gratitude for the practice, in gratitude for our health. Namaste.